Hello, how are you doing? My name is Brian Dove. I'm one of the volleyball coaches here at Hopewell High School.
Hi, Brian. Okay, we're gonna start. Do you believe participation in sports keeps teenagers out of trouble?
Absolutely. What it does, it gives them a standard of really something to actually live up to in life.
Why do you think students do not participate in extracurricular activities?
I think they probably don't believe they can actually gain something from it. At the end of the day, most kids, if they don't do anything, it's because they don't see an advantage to it. And what sports really does is it raises their level of play and, just in life in general.
Do you believe drugs affect the way you play or play a role in why students don't participate in sports?
Absolutely, that's a two-part question. I'd say for performance enhancing, for the short term, it definitely will help athletes, but for the long term, obviously, it has very bad effects to it. And also, you got to look at other drugs such as like marijuana, that the short-term and long-term effects are extremely bad for these athletes.
Can you give an example of a player you had and how playing a sport bettered their lives?
Sure. One of the players I had earlier in my career when I was coaching, the philosophies that I teach in volleyball are the same philosophies that you can really use throughout your whole entire life. And she used those same principles after she graduated college to start a business. And she's one of the most successful business owners that I know.
What characteristics do you see in the successful athletes?
I would say perseverance. I would say drive, and just the ability just to not to give up.
Does having to have a grade point average standard prevent some students that need sports from playing?
Yes, it does. And like I said earlier about the standard, you have to have a standard because coming into any program, if there's not a standard, then the kids think that they can just do anything they want. And at the end of the day, we have to have that standard to start off with, so the kids know that they have something to live up to.
Do or can teenagers gain skills in sports that they can use in other areas of their lives?
Absolutely, and I truly believe that the principles that we as coaches actually teach our girls and guys, for other coaches, that those philosophies and principles they can use way past the sports they truly do play in high school and in college as well.
Thank you.
We're high school.
Do you believe participation in sports keeps teenagers out of trouble?
Yes, I do. I believe that it allows the students to focus their time and energy somewhere else.
Why do you think students do not participate in extracurricular activities?
Many reasons, but the main reason is that students aren't confident in their abilities.
Do you believe drugs affect the way you play or play a role in why students don't participate in sports?
Yes, I believe it affects their judgment and making decisions and also physical fatigue.
Can you give an example of a player you had and how playing a sport bettered their lives?
Actually, from a personal standpoint, I grew up in a rough neighborhood, was heading down the wrong path, but I used basketball to kind of keep me back focused and give me something to strive for.
What characteristics do you see in the successful athletes?
Leadership, mental toughness, just prepare you for